We are not religious, nor especially spiritual. We are Achilles and Atlas, two middle-aged pre-retirees who have given ourselves permission to do our favorite thing, see the world on foot. And this is our tale on the Camino del Norte. As far as technology, we used a Garmin InReach for the rural areas and our cell phones, and check your cell phone plan for your coverage. Our plan covered unlimited text and phone calls within Spain, plus the use of WhatsApp is widely used in Spain for communicating directly. Also note that Wi-Fi in rural Europe works great with Android devices, but you may run into compatibility issues with iOS devices as of 2024. That just meant for us that we couldn't surf the web and plan ahead for the few occasions where this was a problem. Today's walk was a mix of pathway and dirt trail. The weather was cloudy with occasional drizzle, but the temperature was quite comfortable. Just past Colombres is this impressive junction of the thrust-up seafloor and the ocean. We arrived in Penduelas in the early afternoon, too early to check into our albergue, but we did find an authentic Mexican restaurant owned by a Mexican expat. This is a real treat for us West Coast Americans. We checked in, and as is customary after a wet day, we had a hiker yard sale, which is basically the aftermath of our backpacks ejecting all of our belongings to dry out and prepare for laundry. And this particular albergue had a magic laundry service. Leave a bag of no more than 6 stinky, dirty items on a table in the hall, and then poof, they reappear the next morning, clean and dry. Our atelier is a great owner-operator of this albergue, seen here cranking out zumo, cafe, and toast for desayuno. In addition, she does also offer dinner during hiker dinner time. The Cicerone Camino del Norte guidebook is widely used by peregrinos. It breaks down the hike in stages. Knowing this, we employed a strategy of staying in towns between the stages' endpoints to reduce the competition for beds in these popular endpoints. This day was primarily along the coast on dirt trails. The weather was partly cloudy and comfortable, and the highlight of the day was a walk through the Bufones de Arenas, basically waterspouts fed by waves through tunnels. If by chance you do get lost or off track, a helpful local will more than likely know you're lost and point you in the right direction. Here in Riba de Sella, our Savior shouted at us from 100 yards away and pointed at the staircase we needed to take. In Asturias, we encountered horreros, granaries built on tapered pillars to keep out rodents and water, thereby protecting corn, grains, and other crops. A not so subtle reminder that you are in the footsteps of so many, from so many places. Isla, we stayed at the Hotel Los Caspios. It is very hiker-friendly. The co-owners recognized that their location, very pretty and overlooking the coast, was far from restaurants in La Isla. Since pilgrims show up on foot, they exclusively offer dinner for Camino hikers, which was a freshly made omelet, cold cuts, bread, fruit, and vegetables. In the morning, they serve a breakfast buffet. This day's route turned inland primarily on paved secondary roads. The weather was sunny and warm. arrived in Villa Viciosa in time for Menú de la Dia. It appeared to the Asturian specialty apple cidra, so we ordered that for our drink. What we hadn't learned yet was that the proper way to drink it was to pour it from up high and shoot it one shot at a time. We, being culturally ignorant, poured it into a tumbler for sipping. We were chastised and corrected by the waiter when he returned to the horror of what we had created. Gijón is another large city that can take a couple of days to visit to appreciate it. In addition, there was a long industrial walk out of town, so we opted to take the train from Gijón to Áviles to bypass what we did not come to experience. We arrived in Áviles, but unfortunately, this would be our last day on the Camino in 2024 due to an unexpected experience with the Spanish healthcare system.